Hello. Yep, so no intro cause I don't know how to do one, and today I thought to myself, okay, so what could I do in Honkai Star Rail that hasn't been done before, that I like, and that is dump? And the answer was a bird tier list. Yep, so the event has been going on for a couple of days now, so I thought, why don't I just rank in a tier list the silly little birds? Cause yeah, why not? And I like tier lists, so get used to them. So yeah, I'm just gonna rank the birds. I will do two tier lists. I'll explain later why, and hope you enjoy. Okay, so this is the tier list. There's really only 5 birds, so there's not much I could rank. I'm gonna do 2 tier lists this time, mainly because you really can't rank them by the same criteria. Like, there's some that are just good baseline, like easy to use, and just you get a pretty sizable amount of points by just playing them. But there's others that can get notably more points and a better score than the others, but it's more luck based than really skill, in quotes, because you really don't have to apply any skill to Candy Crush. Vale. So this first tier list is gonna be baseline. Just you play this bird, you have average luck, a normal run, basically. I'm gonna go in order. So the first one is the Trail Builder. To be honest, it is one of the most used birds, but I'm gonna say this is one that I was talking about. If you have like not much luck and you don't get the chest event, like the ones where you pop them and they spread the fruit you need in the table, it really is just lackluster, because like, yeah, sure, you need only 4 kiwis to proc the ability, but what are you gonna do? Gain 8 points? Maybe 16? It really just, it's not good. But it is true that you can get like a chain of pops if you are lucky, and that could lead to a bigger number in terms of score. I'm gonna say A tier because of what I'm saying. It has potential, but really, it really doesn't give you a lot to play with. Especially one criteria I'm gonna use a lot is how you can use the cookies, like the rainbow apple thingies, cause that makes a lot of difference in how you use them. And Turbo, they really can't use them, like unless you pop kiwis with them, that's the only thing you can do. Maybe it is useful, but it is limiting. And the next one is Silverbird. So Silverbird, a lot of people use it. It's like the first one you get because you just read, oh, cookies. I gotta say, it is actually the worst one in my opinion. Hear me out. I know cookies are like very powerful and stuff, but the problem I have is the grid is 7x7, so it's 49 fruits. For each fruit you pop, it's 1 point. So really, you are just getting like 48 points if you pop 2 cookies, and that only happens if you get lucky enough and have 2 cookies, one next to each other. Especially the first rounds, you really can't do anything because there's not a lot of blueberries and you need a lot. So yeah, you might get a lot of cookies and a lot of like combinations with them. But the other problem this bird has is using cookies really is bad. Like, if you think about it, I will explain this further, But the next one, which is March, which I'm already gonna place in the A tier. The March bird is quite better. I actually thought it was the worst bird out of all, but it actually surprised me a lot. Mainly because the thing I was going with Silverbird, you need 2 cookies to really exploit the potential the bird has, and that is using a lot of resources. Meanwhile, March really doesn't need a lot of strawberries to get the ability going, and in the case you get a cookie, you really can use it way better. Like, first of all, the ability is pretty good. Having 3 of those in the board might not seem good at all, but you just need to stack like 6 or 9 of them, and then you can practically board wipe. And in the case you get some cookies, you really just use them in a lot of different ways. You can either just pile them up at the bottom and use 2 in case you need a lot more of strawberries. You can pop them with strawberries to get a lot more of the 4-size bomb, the linear bombs in the map. You can use it with any linear bomb to transform all the fruits of that type into linear bombs and just practically board wipe. What I mean with this is Silverbird needs 2 bombs with it, which is hard to get, and 1 next to each other just to get 1 board wipe. Meanwhile, other birds, like for example the March bird, can really just board wipe by its own and only needs a situational 1 cookie to get a practically full board wipe, which is sizable amount of points you get. You basically get double the value from each cookie. That's why I think Silverbird sucks, and that's why I think March is way better. The next bird will be Birdfly. Okay, so Birdfly is a bit of a hard one because it's not bad, but I think it's more luck reliant than the Turtle Bird there, in the sense that you basically wipe 1 line vertically and horizontally, which covers a lot of map, covers a lot more than the Turtle Bird there, but it's harder to hit the things you wanna hit with it. Plus you might get screwed and just lose a good combination. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of it. I'm gonna go B tier, but it's definitely better than the Silverbird Wolf. Basically, you can also get a lot of chains and just board wipe a lot of times. I just think the structure, the way it removes the fruits is worse. It's, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Which actually, it's funny because when I was getting the footage for the video, the Birdfly was the only one that I won in a lobby first try. But yeah, I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea. Maybe you disagree. I've seen like cracked Birdfly users, but I don't know. And finally, Robert. So yeah, Robert is the Silver Wolf bird, but better. Like, you only need, was it 5 or 6? I don't remember, but you really don't need a lot of pitches to get the ability going. You get a lot of bombs, and the bombs are actually pretty good. Like, if you just combine them with normal fruits, they suck. They really are bad. I think they only cover like 4 or 9. I think it was 9. Yeah, 9 grid, which is not really that good, but if you combine 2, you cover like 16 blocks, which is like half the map. And that's absolutely broken, because if you get like 6 of them and just combine 2, which is not hard at all, because you get 3 each time, so at the end of the day you just get 1 next to each other. It's easy, it really is. You just need to try it 1 time and you see. It just happens. It's pretty easy, and you get a lot of pitches by just combining them. You get like half a board wipe, or even almost a full board wipe each time you pop 2 of them, because you start popping all of the others. It is really good. And what I mean when I say it's just Silver Wolf bird but better, what I mean is just instead of needing 2 cookies to fully board wipe, you only need like 2 abilities to board wipe 2 or 3 times maybe. I just think it's much consistent, much better, much easier to use, less luck reliant. You just get it. You just get a good score. And I think I got like 500 points or something, which I know it was overkill. But like, I don't know, the robot is really OP in my opinion. It's easy to use. Personally, I think the hardest one to use will be the match bet, because you need like to get the full potential of it. You need to combine correctly, because depending on where you combine, you pop one line or other, which just makes for chains and stuff. Yeah, this is the base standard bird tier list in my opinion. And yeah, what I based was luck reliant. How do they use cookies? Because again, the matchbird and the robot, you could use 2 cookies, which is not recommended at all, to blow up all the map. But yeah, I personally wouldn't do that, because you lose 2 cookies when you could board wipe 2 times with each one. That's the reason I like those 2 birds a lot, because you get more of the ability. You get 3 of each in the board, which is really good, because you get more chance of getting a cookie or a rainbow apple or whatever next to one of the abilities, and that just means a board wipe like almost 100% of the times. So the next tier list is going to be the full potential birds. How much points could you non-realistically get? Like, if you're lucky, how far can you go with these birds? This time I'm gonna start with opposite places. First of all, Robert, I just spoke about it. I actually think it's A tier. It is a good baseline, but you really just don't need as much luck as you need with other birds. Even if you just fill them up with bombs, you don't really need luck, you'll just get them. So the most you can get from this bird, you'll just get it in normal games. You don't need luck at all. That's why I think it's really good in the other tier list. Next it's gonna be Birdfly, and obviously it's S tier. All the ones that have explosions by the ability can just go infinitely, depending of what the map drops. So any of them that can explode just could go infinitely, can chain up to 700 or things. Next is the Marchbird, and yeah, Marchbird, like, you can get lucky, but it's the one that, in my opinion, might get the least amount of points out of the bunch. Because the 4-way explosions are good, but really, I just think the Marchbird gets the least amount of points based on how the explosion works and stuff. I don't think it's as good as the Robot Bird, just because the grid bombs can get higher chance to make cookies based on the radius it explodes than the Marchbird. The Marchbird has less chance, unless you get chess. If you get chess, that's just whatever. But it's harder to make cookie bombs with the 4 size grid bomb instead of the 4x4 square. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Next is Silverwolf. Silverwolf, okay, so depends on how you look at it. Like, if you get lucky and you get the 2 cookies all the time, yes, you get board wipes a bunch, but like, again, you lose a lot of material. You just can't get 2 cookies all of the time. I've seen people with like 10 cookies, and I've done it on the bottom, and you just pop. But the problem I see with those, for each cookie you have in the map, it's 1 less point you get by exploding the whole grid. I personally... I'm gonna say it's better than the Marchbird, because yeah, you have like easier board wipes and you can free board wipes, but the thing that I mean is, it doesn't matter if you have like 16 bombs on the bottom. Yeah, you can do like 8 board wipes, which is pretty good, but instead of 48 points you just get like 32 or something, which is a substantial amount. Counting on 4 of those will mean a full board wipe again. I just think the Silverwolf, it's really bad. It really is. And finally, the Trailblazer or Trailblazer, but whatever. It's just good. you have a lot more of chance to make change, just because exploring in a square is always better than exploring in lines. Basically, you get better radius, less combinations screwed because of the explosion. It's just better. And it has more explosions, so that means it covers like more, which it really doesn't. The Firefly bird covers 14, and the turtle bird covers just 8. But I don't know, it really depends. This one is just because I don't like the linear explosions. The two are really good. The two have infinite potential. If you get lucky enough, you can just get to infinite points with them. It really is a tie. I just personally think it's easier and more comfortable to get the 4 size squares. But it is true, I gotta say this, the Firefly bird actually got me better results, so I might just be blinded by my bias. I think the two of them are pretty good. You just need to choose whatever you like more. It really is the same. At the end of the day, if you get lucky, you win. If you don't get lucky, you don't win. And that basically applies to all of the tier list. The tiers don't matter. It's Candy Crush. You just need to get lucky and pop a lot of fruits, and that's all. This was just to make a silly little funny thing. It really doesn't matter. They are all good. I don't know. Who cares? It's just Candy Crush and Honkai Star Rail. But yeah, this was the 2 tier list I made. If you disagree or have any opinions, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. There won't be a lot, so be 100% sure I will read them, I will answer, and maybe you're right, maybe I should change something. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll try to make more in the future, and see you around.